Let's see how you do under pressure. Yeah, I've been wanting this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Yeah. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra, extra. Work with me, you know that I got it. Come with me, let's take a trip to the islands. We up on the jet, we'll do more than just fly on it. Stand on that hill, you gon' die on it. Boom, boom. Baby, I'm not one of them, you try on it. Miss me with...
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode podcast to talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. Huge shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. We got Tracy, we got DJ Boogie, we got Edgar, McBride Glazer, Chance. What's up, y'all? Brandon, John, Juan. I see you all up there. Appreciate you guys for being here. Do me a massive favor. Smack up the like button here on your way in, ladies and gentlemen. We heard Adam Schefter yesterday saying by Wednesday we will be getting all these coaches filled up, all these coach vacancies filled up, ladies and gentlemen. That's what Adam Schefter said. And so far, the first domino of four has fallen already. The last 30 minutes ago, and ladies and gentlemen, the Buffalo Bills fans right now are absolutely confused and worried, and they don't understand what to do. And honestly, I'm kind of on that same boat as well. I don't know why you fire Sean McDermott to try to sell your organization that you want to go in a completely different direction, to just sign their offensive coordinator and Joe Brady. Now, like I said, you're never going to know what's going to happen until you give the guy an opportunity, right? That's the truth. But right now, it just feels to me that they just kind of went and they said, well, we know this guy and we're going to do it. This would be the equivalent of the Arizona Cardinals hiring Vance Joseph. What the Bills just did. That would be the equivalent of if the Arizona Cardinals were to hire Vance Joseph. Now, I'm not going to come out here and try to jinx anything, but that's what it will be the equivalent of. Right now, Buffalo Bills fans are absolutely livid. They don't know how to feel. They don't really believe in the Bills organization and what Brandon Beane's doing over there, which is their general manager. All I can say, you got Josh Allen, right? If there's anybody that can mask anything, it's Josh Allen, ladies and gentlemen. But man, oh man, oh man, the Arizona Cardinals are now one of three teams looking for their head coach. And if you were to say in the beginning of this head coaching search, ladies and gentlemen, this was going to be the three final teams, I would tell you that sounds accurate. That sounds accurate. Let's be real, ladies and gentlemen. The Raiders right now, the Cardinals, and the Browns, they might be the worst. They might be the worst jobs from the perception of the NFL right now. Of course, as a Cardinal fan, we're not going to come out here and say we're the worst job. No, we're not. Because all I can say right now is that we're not the freaking Bills, or not the Bills. I'm sorry, we're not the Browns. And then we have a better roster than the Raiders, right? We got a better roster than the Raiders. But yes. Right now, the Cardinals are one of three teams currently looking for their head coach, with the Buffalo Bills now going the direction of hiring their offensive coordinator and Joe Brady. Hopefully nothing but success for him. Let's see what he does over there with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. But we're here to talk some Arizona Cardinals, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're all here to talk about. Smack the like button, subscribe. On the road to 19K. Cannot do it without you guys, but let's talk about it. Now, I'm already seeing some comments here in the chat prior to us going live. Everybody really feels like this is the day. Today is the day people really feel that today is going to be when the Arizona Cardinals hire their head coach. And yes, if you want to go ahead and put your prediction out there, I do have a poll question right now on the chat on YouTube. Now, if you're watching on X and Twitter, I keep telling y'all the fun is on YouTube because that's where the chat is actually going. So I have a poll question for everybody right now that's in the YouTube chat. I got over 90 of you guys right now watching, and we just started about 5 minutes ago. So if you guys feel like something's happening, it probably is going to happen. My question to you is, who is it? And obviously, I'm talking about the head coach. Options are Anthony Campanelli, Mike LaFleur, or neither. Let me know your vote here in the chat below, and then we'll go ahead and revisit this poll question here in a little bit. But today is a day where I do believe maybe it happens. Now, the weird thing that we're living in right now as Arizona Cardinal fans is the fact that Mike LaFleur had a 2-day interview, right? I'm going to hold on to that because I still think it's freaking weird. I still do think it's weird. Now, yes, he just came off the NFC Conference Championship, right, on Sunday. He flew in on Monday, right? And Albert Breer came out and said that he could confirm that he confirms that yesterday, the Arizona Cardinals were taking Mike LaFleur out to dinner. Yes, and here's the report if you guys do not believe me. Albert Breer, which has been pretty reliable, right? Pretty reliable. Now, I'm going to be the first to say don't trust everything you see on the internet, right? Don't trust everything, but Albert Breer is definitely one of those guys that you at least got to obviously pay attention to what he's saying, right? But this is what he ended up putting out was it last night? No, it was during the afternoon yesterday is when he put this out. No, evening. I'm sorry, evening. It was around 6:30 AZ time yesterday, saying the Cardinals are taking offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur out to dinner tonight in Phoenix, and he'll have a second interview with the team tomorrow per sources. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Well, 2-day interview for Mike LaFleur. Okay. And now you're taking him to dinner, which I'm assuming Steak 48, right? That seems to be what everybody goes to. Is it Steak 44 or Steak 4? What is that place called? Obviously, I haven't been there, right? But Steak 44, not Steak 48. Steak 44, pardon me, right? But that seems to be the place that Michael Bidwell likes to bring people to. But yes, Albert Breer confirmed yesterday that indeed Mike LaFleur went out to dinner. Now, we don't know what restaurant it was. I'm just guessing, right? I'm just guessing and I'm just having fun with the situation, right? But yes, right now the decision is going to be, is it Mike LaFleur or is it Anthony Campanelli? Now, for the people out there that are saying Sean McDermott, Mike Tomlin, guys, I don't think they want to coach. I think they're looking at the remaining of the list and they're like, nah, we're good. We're going to take a year off, right? We're going to take a year off. Mike Tomlin more than Sean McDermott. We know that most likely he will take the year off. No, of course, if you landed a Mike Tomlin or Sean McDermott, that would be a home run, right? I don't think they want to coach this year, right? I really, really don't. So what we're kind of left with in the situation that we're in right now, when we already kind of knew that none of these other big time experienced candidates were going to choose us over all the other, 9 other available teams that were looking for a head coach as well. The Arizona Cardinals are in this situation right now, and this probably is going to be coming to an end really, really closely. Now, I know I made a video yesterday calling, should we wait for Kubiak, right? But if you actually watch the video, I do explain on there that I think it's very risky for the Cardinals to wait for Kubiak if that's who you want. Now, nobody predicted the Seahawks to be in the Super Bowl, right? Nobody predicted that. Now, I think if the Cardinals were going to be in a situation where they were waiting on Monday, they probably would have brought Kubiak in if the Seattle Seahawks got booted out. But I think they were really had their eye on those two coordinators. Now, you could throw Shula in there as well if you want to, but I really think it was Mike LaFleur the whole time and potentially Clint Kubiak. But depending on who lost, the Cardinals are going to need to make a decision. They can't wait these 2 weeks. They just can't. They need to fill out the rest of the coaching staff. We need to see if Mike LaFleur has any people that are on the inside that he needs to bring in from the Rams, and then vice versa. If it is Anthony Campanelli, he needs to do the same thing with the guys that he's currently in Jacksonville, right? Because it seems easy, right? Oh, yeah, you're coming here. But there's a lot of moving parts, right? There's families, there's, jobs involved. There's a lot of things on the outside that people don't really think about. But in the end of the day, the Cardinals need to make their decision. Now, I'm not going to say, oh, you're rushing it. You're not rushing it. You're already 3 weeks into this, and it's all kind of come down to this. Are the Arizona Cardinals finally going to make a move today? If it doesn't happen today, then it probably most likely will happen tomorrow. Now, with my luck, every single time I end up closing shop or end up closing out my live stream, it happens after that. Usually it happens with my luck, right? I'm like, all right, guys, peace out. It's real, it's fun. And then it happens. Oh, man, breaking news. I'm like, dang it. Here we go, right? But I promise you, if we get breaking news, even if I'm a little late, I will deliver the news to you as fast as I possibly can. Because man, oh man, oh man, right now with doing everything, all social media platforms, it gets a little hectic with just me doing everything on my own, right? All content comes from me specifically only. I'm not with a big company. It's all just me. So appreciate you guys for walking with me. Appreciate you guys for being here up and foremost. And let's talk about it. Let's go. All right. Cardinals met with Mike LaFleur, right? Yesterday. Now, what we know is that Anthony Campanelli was another finalist yesterday. I'm sorry, not yesterday. Last week. So right now, the guys that we've physically brought in, at least that was reported, right, physically in-house, was Anthony Campanelli, Anthony Weaver, and then now um, Mike LaFleur, right? Now Mike LaFleur. So per the chat, it really does feel like a lot of people would love the idea of potentially getting a Mike LaFleur. That seems what people are kind of leaning on right now, that Mike LaFleur potentially is going to be that guy for us, right? At least 86%, man. That's crazy to see. 86% right now in the chat. And on the poll question, saying 86 is gonna be Mike LaFleur. That's cool. That's cool, man. That's cool. DJ Boogie in the chat says, yep, we can't afford to wait. We can't. We absolutely can't. And I get it. I understand the people that really want Kubiak, but believe me when I say, if it comes down to Kubiak choosing between us and the Raiders, he's going to go for the Raiders simply from the fact that the Raiders have a path to success for a quarterback. Guys, the Arizona Cardinals right now with Kyler Murray, they don't know what they're going to do with Kyler. I don't think Kyler knows what he's going to do with the Arizona Cardinals because, yes, we all talk about it, right? We always say, oh, he's going to be the guy or he's not going to be the guy. He also has an opinion as well. He can also say, no, I want to get traded away. I don't want to be with you guys anymore, right? It takes two to tango. It takes two to actually, do you want to be the quarterback and do we want you to be the quarterback, right? So there's so much murkiness within this Arizona Cardinals organization, and we're not even in prime position in the first round to get ourselves a quarterback. There's only one quarterback, and the Raiders are most likely going to snipe him. So if I were to put some money down, I would say Clint Kubiak would probably choose to go the route of the Raiders over the Cardinals. And that was the rumors that we've been hearing for probably weeks now. I think Tom Brady already had his eye on him, and they're probably willing to wait. The Cardinals right now, they can't afford to not wrap up Mike LaFleur right now if they truly believe in him, right? Or Anthony Campanelli, right? If they truly believe in him. The Arizona Cardinals right now are in prime position to get one of these two guys, and they probably need to make their decision within these next 2 days. And I do believe they're going to. I do believe they're going to go ahead and make the decision within the next 2 days, and they should. They absolutely should. Let me go ahead and go to the couple people here in the chat. We got fighting on the chat, or fight scene. I'm sorry. Fight scene says Raiders just got the first overall pick. That's all. Doesn't mean the quarterback will work out. Well, not necessarily means that the quarterback will work out, but when you're trying to tie yourself with a organization, this is talking from a coach perspective, right? If you're trying to tie yourself with an organization that things are going to change, what will give you more leeway with the fan base, right? That you had a plan and you're actually going to try to do everything in your power to develop a rookie quarterback. Because let's be real, are the Raiders going to go to the Super Bowl next year? No, they're not. Are they going to hit the playoffs? Probably not. Are they going to win their division? Probably not. But what gives them more time is for them to have a plan, right? If they have a plan and design to know what they're going to do, a head coach will actually sign up for that as opposed to, oh, you have 1 year, make it work, right? Make it work, because head coaches, they want to be in that position for as long as they possibly can, obviously, right? You all want to keep your job. So it's just security. It's, I'm going to develop this guy. Give me 2 or 3 years to develop this guy. And now the Cardinals right now don't have that guy unless they do get themselves Ty Simpson, which I'm still on board, not with the 3rd overall pick, but I'm saying if he does fall to the 2nd round, I would be on board with that personally, but not my decision. But here we go. What we're seeing right now throughout social media, everything like that, it's just confirming that it's getting close, right? That it's getting close. That indeed a dinner was held last night with Mike LaFleur and the Arizona Cardinals representation, right? Monty, Michael Bidwell, what say you? Now, big question out there that I actually have for you guys here in the chat. Yes or no, right? Just yes or no. I don't need any explanations or not. Would you consider the Mike LaFleur hiring? Because that's the one right now, what it feels like it's going to be, right? Because 2-day interview, he's here. They probably just need to figure out the details and how it all works out. But do you guys see this as a home run? Do you guys see this as a home run pickup for the Cardinals? Or do you see this as he's the best guy available? It is what it is, right? It is what it is. To me, if the Cardinals go after Mike LaFleur, it would be hard for me to label it a home run, right? But now that we kind of went through this process, I don't think we were actually realistically going to get a quote unquote home run, right? But like also on the other side of the coin, the other two guys that were experienced that were seen as home run signings and Sean McDermott and also Tomlin, they didn't come out. So the Cardinals didn't really have the option to go after them if they wanted to, right? Now, Harbaugh, I know it was fun. It was awesome to dream. It was cool to be labeling some podcast saying the Harbaugh watch with the idea that we might get him. Oh, he answered a phone call. That's cool. That's awesome. But it always felt like it was going to be the Giants. Like let's call it like it is. It always felt like it was going to be the Giants, right? We all knew that deep down in the pit of our guts that it was going to be the Giants. But do you see this as a home run? I don't, but I still do think it's a really, really good signing. I still think it's a good signing and a lot of upside. That's what you're getting in a Mike LaFleur. You're getting a guy with extreme upside, a guy that's got a lot of very well experienced coaches that he's looking up to. Now, I don't think he's actually coached with his brother in Matt LaFleur, but obviously you have that to lean on as well. And then you also have the thought of you're leaning on Kyle Shanahan, that you had time with him. You're leaning on the fact that you had time with Sean McVay, right? These guys that are top tier head coaches in the NFL, and we can only hope to try to replicate. Like, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a chance and a hope to try to replicate what is happening in the NFC West, and he might be the best guy to do that offensively. Now, the defensive side of the ball, there's something about Anthony Campanelli that I would absolutely love to bring him to the desert. Probably his persona, probably his personality, his brashness. Reminds me a little of BA, but that's the defensive side of the ball. Are the Cardinals going to shift to the offensive side of the ball because they just came off a defensive side of the ball? Probably. They probably will. Now, like I said, I made a short video on my YouTube channel and I spurred it out through all my other social platforms. My question was, should Kyler Murray get a say into who this next quarterback is going to be, right? Who is Kyler Murray get a say, or should he have a say? I'm going to make it short and sweet. Kyler Murray should not have a say into who the quarterback is going to be for the Arizona Cardinals in 2026. He should not have a say. Absolutely not. Um, Now, if it's Mike LaFleur, should he have a say into who his quarterback is? 100%. 100%. 110% he should have a say. If he wants Kyler, give him Kyler. If he doesn't want Kyler, then move on and figure out some sort of plan in terms of maybe through via trade, through free agency, or through the draft. That is what they're going to have to diagnose within these next, couple months before we get into the draft. Because right now, we're the third overall pick. We have the second pick in the second round, and we have the first pick in the third round. So for what it's worth, if you want to get your guy in the second round, third round, there is a realistic possibility that the Cardinals go that direction if they choose to do that, right? So, yeah, I mean, a lot of moving parts, right? One thing I will say about McFleur, I did it again. Oh my God. I did it again. LaFleur. It's the M. If you haven't been on my multiple podcasts, you don't understand the dyslexia that's going in my head right now. The M and the LaFleur always must make me. Never mind. I'm not even gonna try to explain it. Let's move on. Let's move on. Okay. The most fascinating thing about LaFleur is obviously the offensive mind and the ability that he has that experience with these other coaches that are seen as top tier guys, right? Let me go ahead and read a few comments here in the chat. I got Javi in the chat. What's up, brother? He says, give Jacoby 1 year and then you move up in the draft next season. Okay. So you're willing to, quote unquote, punt the season? I'm not going to say, okay, well, let me run it back. Punting the season makes it feel like you're willing to tank, which, let's be real, Jacoby's not trying to lose games, but we get it. We've seen already the sample size of what it is. Great numbers, but doesn't equate to wins, right? So you're saying run it back with Jacoby 1 more year, and then we will decide what we do in 2027 with the new draft class coming in. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I respect that. I still would love the Arizona Cardinals to go after somebody because even if it's a rookie that we're watching over Jacoby Brissett, I would rather watch that, to be real with you. I'm okay with Jacoby Brissett starting the beginning of the season, but give me something to look forward to. You know what I mean? Especially if we're looking at what 3 wins, 4 wins heading into November or December. It's so hard to stomach and not talk about anything that's not future. So I would like the Cardinals to go Ty Simpson. Very probably underrated. People don't like that take from me, but I'm still gonna plant my stake to say if he's there in the second round, I hope the Cardinals take the plunge and go that direction. Fight. There you go. Here we go. Oh, yikes. Let's keep it going. We got Ewer in the chat saying keeping Kyler Murray makes the most sense. There's no better quarterback to get a new head coach isn't going to want to tank. They're going to want to try to win now. And see, here's the most fascinating thing that we got to talk about, right? And we're going to have multiple conversations about this back and forth, right? For the people out there that didn't want Kyler Murray back, and I'm going to obviously put myself in that as well. I do not want Kyler Murray back, but it's not my decision. If Mike LaFleur comes out and says, yes, I want him back, he deserves to get a chance with Kyler. He does. But regardless of the situation, they still need to figure out a plan after Kyler. But I don't blame anybody for saying what they're saying in terms of Kyler Murray is the best option right now with the options you're going to have coming out of the draft. And well, we don't know about the draft, right? Like, yes, you could say that, but we truly don't know if that's truly the case. So I'm not going to say that. But free agency, the guys that are coming out, a lot of has-beens out there. You can go the trade option, but we've seen Monty Ossenfort not do trades. What will change this time around, right? So it's going to be a very fascinating topic that we're going to have a very, very deep discussion about this whole Kyler Murray topic. Should he come back with LaFleur or not? And I almost promise you that when we see the presser for either LaFleur or Campanelli, they're going to ask. They're going to ask, and they should ask, is Kyler Murray your quarterback? And he's going to respond with, well, right now he's on the roster. That's so don't come out here expecting something crazy because he's going to say that. He's going to be like, oh, well, he's on the roster right now. So yes, right? But that doesn't mean he's the guy in 2026. Let's reel it in for a second there. We got a super chat coming our way. We got John Naylor, friend of the NFC West Roundtable. I'll see you tonight, John. Appreciate you for joining my chat and obviously joining the show. He's saying this, Mike, just 24 months ago, my Hawks were picking a new coach. Cards passed the 49ers this year and 2027. Who knows? Enjoy the ride. You have a good show. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Absolutely appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know what the future is for the 49ers. I really don't. One thing I will say is the Cardinals did lose a lot of close games with the roster that they had, and a lot of injuries derailed the season. Now I still do think that Gannon probably should have got the axe as he did. It's time to now start to kind of get a new fresh and a new take in this whole situation, right? So, John, appreciate the $5 donation, man. Thank you so very much. I'll see you tonight on the NFC West Roundtable. Excited to chop it up with the rest of the guys over there. Yeah, let's continue to have the conversation, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm actually very curious to figure out what you guys are all thinking about the whole Kyler Murray topic. We got Javi in the chat says, call the Dolphins to see if they're willing to part with Ewers. Oh, okay. I was very concerned when I first read this. I thought you were going to say Tua. I'm so glad you did not say Tua. So glad you didn't say Tua Tagovailoa. But if you're actually saying Ewers, I'm intrigued, right? I'm intrigued. It's probably not going to take anything absolutely nuts, but at the end of the day, we will see, right? We will see exactly how it goes here for the Arizona Cardinals. Let's keep it with the chat. We got Eddie. What's up, brother? He says, Kyler isn't even better than a backup quarterback. That should tell you everything. So, like I said, right? We're going to have a lot of conversations because everybody's going to have something different to say. Whether Kyler shouldn't be here, whether Kyler should be here. We can all have opinions on the matter. The problem that we're dealing with right now is that it's not our decision. It's going to be Monty Ossenfort's decision at the end of the day, right? So, my question right now, because I've seen a couple people out there float the idea that if the Cardinals go after LaFleur, their defensive coordinator is going to be Raheem Morris, right? Raheem Morris is going to be your defensive coordinator. Now, although Raheem Morris still has not signed as a defensive coordinator somewhere else, I mean, there's other options out there too. we just saw Dable get picked up as an offensive coordinator for the Titans, which I think it's a really good tandem. They got Dable and they got Saleh as their head coach. Excited to see some Titans football, or at least kind of follow, not obviously watch games, but follow what they do through the season. But yeah, next question, right? Who are the Cardinals going to bring in as a defensive coordinator if this is their guy, right? If this is their guy. Or if they do go the Anthony Campanelli route, who is going to be his offensive coordinator? So yeah, just because we hire our head coach does not mean news stops, because we need to fill out the rest of this freaking roster. And I'm not going to accept Nick Rallis coming back. I'm sorry. No, I'm good. I'm not going to accept Nick Rallis coming back. Is it possible? It's possible that he might still be the guy, but just keep it up. Like, rip it off, man. Just rip it all off and let's start over. West in the chat. What's up, brother? Keep Kyler, get Ty. When Kyler goes down, throw in Ty. Oh, I'm glad I'm not the only one that has a little bit of intrigue with Ty Simpson. I'm glad I'm not the only one that has intrigue with Ty Simpson. Now, I'm not going to come out here and call my shot and say he's the next franchise, right? I've been through that road. People cooked me when it came down to Toontown, right? Clayton Tune, people were like, oh, you wanted him as your QB1. No, I didn't. I was just trying to find a sliver light of 2023, but I'll take the L, man. I'll take the L. He was not good at all. He was not good. I don't think it's fully his fault, but what we've seen from Tune, just not good. I think he's actually now with the UFL now, so congrats to him. I like this. I like this option. Javi in the chat says pass on Ty. I mean, he might be your best option. Might be your best option, but we'll see how it all goes. Let's keep it with the chat. Milano in the chat says, need McFlurry today. If you know, you know, man. If you don't know, I don't know what to tell you. But you got to bring in McFlurry, man. You got to bring in McFlurry. Absolutely. Love to see the chat roasting me. Got another super chat coming our way. Woo! Another $5 donation.
Another one.
Thank you so very much. This time we got Byerly Monarch, and I'm pretty sure I butchered that. I apologize, Monarch. But what they are saying is screw Michael Bidwell. Had Harbaugh for the tanking. Passed up just like Sean Payton. Woo. Well, I agree with you. I agree with you. Screw Michael Bidwell. I'm right there with you. I think right now that it's very safe to say that nobody likes the Bidwells owning our team. But if I were going to be real with you, I do not want this team to go away. I love football so much that I'm willing to be in this abusive relationship to have a football team. I'm not trying to get them to move to Utah, man. I'm just not trying to get them to move to Utah. That would haunt me, because I love the Arizona Cardinals. I really do. I know it's an abusive relationship, and I'm fully aware of that. But yeah, I wish the ownership were to move off. The problem that we're dealing with Harbaugh, I just don't think he was ever truly in play. Biggest reason is the Cardinals don't have the financial capabilities to pay a Harbaugh the amount of money that he got paid with the Giants. Not all owners are built the same. And not all owners allocate their money to winning, right? Michael Bidwell allocates it to jets, right? He wants to, not the Jets, but actually getting himself another jet, right? So I agree, screw Michael Bidwell. But I don't think we were truly ever in on Harbaugh. And Sean Payton, being the fact that he was in the building, that one did hurt. But also same situation. We probably weren't going to pay him as much as Wally World money. And I have an inkling that he probably wanted to do to Kyler what he did to Russell. That's not confirmed. I'm not reporting. I'm just having an inkling out there, and I don't think Michael Bidwell was having that. Just FYI. So appreciate you, Monarch. Thank you so very much for the super chat. Appreciate it. We got another one coming in as well. This time it's going to be Junior. What's up, Junior? Got a $5 donation coming our way from Junior saying this. What's up, Mike? The whole Kyler situation was bad to share an opinion. I agree with you. Whether LaFleur wants Kyler, we need a plan, Mike. Yeah, no, we do. I'm not sure if you're saying we need a plan, Mike, me or him, but that's going to be the confusing part that I'm going to be living with, but that's completely fine. I think it's up to LaFleur, 110%. It's up to LaFleur. And I know that's going to piss people off, especially the ones that do not want Kyler back, but it should be up to him. If Bidwell and Monty are making this decision for him, you just pretty much you gave him any power he might have had. This is what you're doing to him. That's not fair. That's not right. He should have autonomy to pick who he wants to bring in. Now, of course, Bidwell is going to put his 2 cents into the situation, but they need to find a plan. They need to find a plan moving forward. They just need to. So yeah, Junior, I agree with you, brother. Appreciate the super chat, man. Thank you so very much for your generosity. Let's keep it with the chat. Oh, here's another one. Monarch again. What's up, brother? Woo. Another one from Monarch.
Another one.
Thanks, brother. He says this: all owners have the ability to loan $100 million on a $5 billion investment. That's fair. That's fair. I'm not saying that it's not possible, right? I'm not saying that it's not possible. And you can see it as an investment. Also, you as an owner, you got to realize that this job or this franchise that you have, you should be seeing it as an investment. You bring in somebody like Harbaugh, I almost promise you, people will be pounding the doors to get season tickets. People will be pounding the doors to get their season tickets to renew or get new season tickets. That's expectations, and that is what is brought in when you make a move like that, because that tells everybody that you want to win, right? It does. I get it. Mike LaFleur is not something that probably is going to get a lot of people excited. Well, I think people are on the train now with Mike LaFleur, which I'm glad, honestly, because I was talking about Mike LaFleur in November when people were like, oh, Gannon's not going anywhere. Gannon's not going anywhere. I also thought he probably wasn't going to go anywhere because of the cheapness of Michael Bidwell. But I was talking about LaFleur, Shula. I'm not sure if I brought Kubiak in. I probably did bring Kubiak in, but I know for sure I was eyeballing those Rams offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator over there back in November. So I'm kind of glad that everybody's kind of like on the train of LaFleur. He's intriguing. He really is, man. He's very, very intriguing. But I do agree. $1 billion is 1,000 million, right? Is 1,000 millions. So a billionaire to 100 million is a lot of money, but it's an investment. I mean, I'm right there with you, brother. I'm right there with you. So I'm not trying to make him any excuses or anything like that, but at the end of the day, it almost kind of felt like it was never possible. So although I wanted to buy into the nature that it could, all it was a pipe dream at the end of the day. But I'm intrigued, man. I'm intrigued with LaFleur. I'm intrigued with Campanelli still. I'm still up there with Campanelli. I potentially love that train to kind of potentially blossom into. And the poll question right now says this: who is it? LaFleur or Campanelli or neither? 13% says Campanelli, 80% says LaFleur, and 7% says neither. Okay. Let's end that poll question right there. And of course, we can't get through a stream without saying the McFlurry. McFlurry. All right. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for the $2 donation. Send in $2 to roast me. Love to see it. Love to see it. Thanks so much, brother. Appreciate the super chat. El Tali in the chat says, Mike, trade for Riley Leonard. Ooh. Riley Leonard, backup quarterback for the Colts. I mean, that's intriguing. That's intriguing. I mean, I'm going to sit here and act like that's not intriguing. 23-year-old that looked pretty solid when got the opportunity. That's intriguing. El Tali, you might be onto something there, brother. You might be onto something. I never even thought to potentially trade for him, but if the Cardinals were to throw a late round pick on him, I'm intrigued. He was the 189th overall pick in the draft. That's intriguing. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's pretty intriguing. We'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. Edgar in the chat says, I mean, opinions, right? Opinions. We got Hans in the chat says, few round picks with Kyler to trade for Mendoza. I just don't think the Raiders are high on Kyler. If there was one team that I would say that we can flip them on over to, I still think it's the Jets, man. I still think the Jets are the one team that we can, I'm not going to say fleece, but that probably are interested in the state that they're in right now. It's probably going to be the Jets for me. I just don't see the Raiders making a move like that. especially when they got the first overall pick, a quarterback on the cheap, you really don't you don't make moves like that when you got the first overall pick, right? When Kyler Murray started a season or started his career, looked good, but let's be real, the last few years have been a decline. Let's call it like it is. But yes, continuing to talk about what we're talking about, Mike LaFleur is the final finalist, and he is meeting with the Arizona Cardinals today and also met with them yesterday as well. Per Albert Breer, they had dinner with Mike LaFleur last night. So one thing I will say is, one second. I'm seeing Vance Joseph rumors pop back up. Give me 1 second. I'm seeing Vance rumors pop up. Stop it. Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. Just want to make sure that I'm not seeing anything that I want to make sure I deliver all the news I potentially can. Okay, I think it's just people are talking. Okay. I think we're good. Okay, we're good. We're fine. We're good. Oh, God, I almost lost my breath there. Okay, let's keep it going. We got Monarch coming again, this time a $2 donation. Monarch, you are too kind, my guy. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so very much. He's got another one coming our way.
Another one.
Saying this, gimme Kubiak or LaFleur. Damn, autocorrect. Yeah, LaFleur is going to be, it's a hard name. So was Campanelli for me in the beginning. It was very hard for me to even say that name. I was calling him all sorts of different ways of saying his name when it wasn't his name. But yes, Anthony Campanelli, Mike LaFleur, very weird names, but not weird names, I'm sorry, but difficult names, especially if you don't know him very much. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, here we go, right? We might be in the verge of getting our next head coach here within the next few hours. If they don't decide today, then most likely tomorrow the Cardinals are going to make their decision. But we are one of 3 teams looking for our next head coach as of right now. We got another one coming our way. Adrian, good Lord.
Another one.
This time, a $10 donation. Let me get you that DJ air horn, brother. Appreciate you. I hope I didn't make anybody's ears bleed out there. But Adrian coming up with a $10 dono. He's saying this. Thoughts on Milroe? If Darnold wins a Super Bowl, the Hawks are going to rip up that 3-year, $100 million contract and give him more money and years. Milroe willing to get any play time anytime soon. That is fascinating. This is why I love the chat, man. This is why I love the chat, because these are things that I never even thought about, right? That's a very, very good call out. Now, Sam Darnold right now, the contract that he's currently on right now, he probably will get an extension without a win or with a win, right? I think regardless, he's probably earned more money under his belt in what he's actually done this year. But Milroe, that's very interesting, right? So far we got Riley and Milroe, guys I never even thought to think about, and now we're here. Insane. Love to see it. Honestly, I don't mind Milroe. I would have liked the Arizona Cardinals to take a flyer. If he fell to like the 4th or 5th round, I wouldn't mind it. He kind of reminds me of Anthony, I was going to say Anthony Davis. That's Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson a little bit, but like I haven't seen him enough to say yes or no, right? If it's like a late flyer, late round pick, I wouldn't mind that. But also on the other side of the coin, will the Seahawks really trade us a guy that they got in the 3rd round and flip him to a 5th round, right? So where we get more value coming our way. But he's interesting. Not really known for a guy that's got a good arm. He's more of a runner type of quarterback. What Lamar Jackson was labeled as, right? Now, of course, Lamar Jackson has beat those remarks, but he's kind of gone back into, especially since he's got hurt. But that's kind of what I see Milroe as kind of the Anthony Richardson, Lamar Jackson type of quarterback, where he still needs to develop that arm talent, but he's got the intangibles to be a really good quarterback if they can bring in a scheme that fits and tailors him, right? But a late round flyer, I wouldn't mind. But also on the other side of the coin, will the Seahawks do it? That's a big question, right? That's a real big question. Adrian, appreciate the super chat. Let me do a real quick refresh here on the Twitter world. Happens every single time, ladies and gentlemen. I close up shop and the Cardinals decide to make a move. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything right now, and I don't see anything that I've missed, right? No, I haven't. Okay, perfect. We are good. Let's continue the conversation. Malik Willis. I heard a rumor that Malik Willis is probably going to get starting quarterback money. That scares me. If he does truly get starting quarterback money, I'm not throwing Malik Willis starting quarterback money. I'm not going to be put in the same situation that we're kind of in with Kyler, where we are kind of handcuffed to the idea with paying this guy this amount of money when we don't really have a real, this is the dude or not, right? So if he covets that money, good for him. I just hope it's not from the Cardinals. Julio in the chat, doubling down and saying Kyler's not even better than a backup. Okay. Well, like I said, we're going to have the conversations moving forward. I promise you, people are going to talk about it left and right. Everybody's going to have their own thoughts and opinions on the whole Kyler Murray thing. I ended up putting a short form video out there about Kyler Murray, and it's getting a lot of traction right now. Let's take a look at the comments that are being posted on that video, right? So some people said, yes, sir. Another one says, not while everything is not on the table yet. We got some people saying yes. Some people saying hell no. Another person saying, fire Murray, please. This guy doesn't play for the team. He only plays for him, right? This class of QBs in 2026 is trash. We got somebody saying F no. It's just, I'm telling you, right? Kyler Murray is probably the most polarizing quarterback we've ever had in the desert. Most polarizing player we've had in the desert, right? So for what it's worth, there's that. BBH coming up here with the $5 donation. What's up, brother, man? Thank you so very much for being here, brother. He's saying this, crazy to think Darnold is the first quarterback in 2018 to draft to make to the Super Bowl. Baker, Darnold, Allen, Lamar. Not mentioning Rosen. Brother, you know, the funny thing is I was looking at the end of your bracket. I was like, this guy is really he's going to ignore my guy Rosen. He's going to ignore my guy Rosen. But there you go, right? Not mentioning Rosen. Love to see it. Yeah, it is crazy. A lot of people wrote off Sam Darnold. But here's the thing. Sometimes you're going to have games where your defense needs to pull their weight. And sometimes you're going to have games where you're in a shootout. And so far, last year and this year, Sam Darnold has came to the plate, right? Sam Darnold has come in and answered the bell. Ding, 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 ding. Sam Darnold did that. And I think right now what we're going to start seeing heading into 2026 is how can we replicate what the Seattle Seahawks did? They're going to ignore the fact that their defense is very good. They're going to ignore the fact that the Mike McDonald-led defense in Seattle is a damn good defense. And they got some really good talented pieces. But they're going to say to themselves, how can we have our own reclamation project? And that's when we are going to insert Kyler Murray, right? Well, you want to make Kyler Murray the next reclamation project? Here we go. But if you get teams in a bidding war, that only helps us out at the end of the day. Or if the Cardinals decide to keep him because they want Mike LaFleur and he wants him, then that's what they're going to decide to do. But appreciate the super chat. We got a couple more coming in. We got this time Jose Vega. What's up, man? Appreciate the super chat.
Another one.
Trey Lance spent time with Harbaugh, a quarterback whisperer. Trey Lance, man, another name out there that you don't really see very often. Another backup quarterback. I believe right now he's with the Chargers, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how I feel about Trey Lance. I guess I feel the same way as I feel or felt about, or I guess the 49ers felt about Trey Lance. He's intriguing. He's got the intangibles to be a really good quarterback. He's got a big rocket arm. It's just every opportunity he gets, it almost kind of feels like it falls by the wayside. So I'm not mad at this. And I'm actually really glad you guys are throwing names out there to obviously talk about. But if I were to put the three names that you just gave to me, right? Riley Leonard, Milroe, and Lance, I would put Lance at the bottom. I would put probably Riley Leonard, Milroe, and then probably Lance at the bottom, for what it's worth. That's just my opinion on the matter. Sharf 58. Oh, here we go. Joe Brady just hired as a head coach in Buffalo. I saw that, brother. And this to me is so. I just talked about it earlier this morning when we started our podcast. I just talked about this when we started our podcast. I don't get this move. I do not understand this move by the Buffalo Bills. And Buffalo Bills fans right now are livid. Buffalo Bills fans right now are livid right now, ladies and gentlemen. They don't understand why they went this direction. I don't understand why you move off of Sean McDermott to go after their offensive coordinator and Joe Brady. No, I thought what you guys were going to do was going to change this whole thing. I thought you were going to change the culture, change it all up. I thought that's what you guys were going to do. And then they completely 180'd it, man. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Now, will Joe Brady succeed? Nobody's going to know until he gets his opportunity. It doesn't make sense. A lot of question marks around the Buffalo Bills decision, right? So now that leaves us with 3 teams. Cardinals are one of the 3 teams still looking for their head coach. Raiders, Cardinals, and now Browns. Appreciate the super chat, Sharp. Thank you so very much. We got another one for BBH. BBH says, go get Fields. Seems like he's getting the Jets quarterback works. I mean, I've seen somebody mock up a trade. That had Kyler Murray going to the Jets and Justin Fields coming to us, but we get more value back in terms of draft picks. I don't want Justin Fields. I really don't. I'm not going to try to fall in love with another quarterback that never got any opportunity. I'm good, man. I'm good. And for the people out there that didn't know, Brian Dable is now going to be the offensive coordinator for the Titans. So it's going to be Robert Saleh as their head coach and Brian Dable as their offensive coordinator. That's going to be a fun watch. That's going to be a very, very fun watch. I'm excited to see what happens over there with Tennessee. Because I was a big fan of Saleh. If he doesn't do good over there, then I was wrong. Robert in the chat says Fields is done. Yep. I did see somebody here in the chat that I want to go ahead and bring up. House of Cards says it felt like a panic move. And I'm assuming you're talking about the Brady. I agree. It does feel like a panic move. 110%, it feels like a panic move. 100%, man. It's crazy. Doesn't make sense to me, but, multimillionaires thinking they're the smartest people in the room. They're the ones making those decisions. But we'll see. Fields is terrible. Yeah, I'm not a big Fields guy. 5 in the chat says, trade Kyler. He can't do what Jacoby did with our wide receiving core. One thing I will say is that if Kyler Murray does come back, that is going to be something people are going to watch. That's definitely going to be something people are going to watch. Because what Jacoby Brissett did for Michael Wilson, I think he easily had Michael Wilson sign an extension. I'm not saying it's coming soon or this year, but Michael Wilson emerging as your number 1 wide receiver, he's going to get extended by the Cardinals. No doubt. Oh, no doubt. Michael Wilson, 1,000-yard wide receiver. Can't say that for MHJ. Can't say that for Marv. And then on top of that, Trey McBride and what Trey McBride did this last year it's not comparable. And I know people out there were saying, oh, Trey McBride was good with Kyler Murray, right? And he was. Trey McBride was good. People were seeing Trey McBride as a top 5 tight end in the NFL, top 6. You're right. I agree. But it's different with Jacoby. Different. We're talking about elite status, right? We're talking about elite status with Jacoby Brissett, right? Over 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns. Trey McBride is now seen to be the number 1 tight end in the NFL. Yes, you can say Bowers. You can throw Kittle in there because of the name. You want to throw Kelsey in there because of the name. No. Step over, move it to the side. It's Trey McBride. And it's not even close. Thank you, Jacoby, for making Wilson a household name and just re-emphasizing that Trey McBride is freaking him. You know what I mean? Just re-emphasizing it, man. Rams house. What's up, brother? You're going to lose your offensive coordinator, just FYI. Rams house, you're going to lose your offensive coordinator, just FYI. It seems like it's trending that the Cardinals right now are probably going to bring in LaFleur. Just FYI. But he says this, Michael Wilson was balling that last half of the year. It was. Yeah, man, he was. What he did was very, very eye-opening for a lot of Cardinals fans. And I get it. It didn't equate to wins. It did not equate to wins. But still, magnificent. AZ fan. Woo! It's been a while. AZ fan, where have you been? Man, I haven't seen this Avi in a hot second. AZ fan, appreciate you for being here in the chat saying this. Been a minute. It has been a minute. LaFleur and Morris and AZ prediction. Okay. I mean, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I do agree that LaFleur is going to be probably that guy that the Cardinals are going to bring in. It feels like it, man. At this point, it absolutely feels like it. Raheem Morris, if the Cardinals can land him, there's at least 3 teams right now looking for a defensive coordinator that would love to bring in Raheem Morris. Would love to bring in Raheem Morris. So if that were to happen, if I do think that would be a really good tandem, a really good tandem. I'm not saying we're winning Super Bowl or anything like that, but yeah, that would be a really good tandem, especially for a young guy that is coming in with no head coaching experience. I feel like you would put him in a position to succeed if you bring in a Raheem Morris, former head coach, right? That would be cool. I would be down with that. And what I'm excited about more than anything, which is not really talked about very much, I'm excited to see what this new coaching staff is going to do with the guys that we have. Can somebody, for the love of God, make Darius Robinson? Can we make him something? Like, come on. Like, even the other guys that we have, right? Like Darius. And I know Walter Nolan was doing really well when he was not hurt. But like, I want to see these guys that were picked up, right? Max Melton, can he get another chance? Can he get another opportunity to become that guy, right, at cornerback? Because he was probably benched at the end of the year. Like, I want to see what another coach can do with these new guys that are coming in. That's one thing I'm really, really excited about. Appreciate you, AZ fan. $2 donation coming our way. Thank you so very much. Guys, if you guys haven't done so already, and I'm assuming every single one of you guys aren't subscribed that are tuning into the show right now, if you can do me a massive favor, we're on the road to 19K. When we hit 19K, we're going to give this bad boy away right here. Arizona Cardinals Nike Rivalry Mini Helmet. We're giving away this bad boy. So subscribe it up if you guys haven't done so already. And also smack the like button. Right now we are sitting with, 47 likes with over 160 of you guys here on the YouTube side. So I appreciate you guys. I don't get paid from likes. I don't. All it does is it pushes my video out to to the algorithm elsewhere, right? So that's all it does. Another name that people aren't talking about, Anthony Weaver. The Cardinals have met with Anthony Weaver as well. Defensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins. Maybe the Cardinals land him. Maybe the Cardinals land Anthony Weaver. Because I don't know if the Miami Dolphins are going to bring back Weaver, right? Especially with Hafley coming in. I just don't think it's going to happen. So now that opens up the door. So if it's not Raheem Morris, Anthony Weaver is another guy that I'm probably very curious to figure out if that's going to be the direction the Cardinals go at defensive coordinator. Or are they going to bring in an offensive coordinator if Mike LaFleur is the guy, right? Is he going to call the plays or is he not going to call the plays? So many questions, man. So many questions. I'm just very curious to figure out how this is all going to shake out here at the end of the day. But for the people that are just joining in, yes. Right now, it is true. The Cardinals have had a 2-day interview process with Mike LaFleur. And as of last night, per Albert Breer, they went out to dinner. So I don't see Michael Bidwell spending money on actually, that's not true. He did that with Sean Payton and we couldn't afford him. But this isn't Sean Payton money. Mike LaFleur isn't Sean Payton money. Is it going to be a 5-year deal? Probably. Yeah, probably. But it ain't Sean Payton money. So we'll see. Let's keep reading the chat. Let's see here. The one thing I'm excited about this year is that I won't spend 1 minute of my time seeing what this organization is going to do. Sam, oh man, that hurts. Well, I hope you're still in the chat. I hope you're still rocking with the channel. If not, I get it. I understand. But I guess there is people out there that are not happy with the situation that is currently going on, right? But I get it, man. I get it. But this hire, if it's LaFleur or if it's Campanelli, there is a lot of upside. There is, and I get it. I hate talking it upside. I want to say a home run swing, and I want to see a home run as well. That's what I want to see. But the circumstances are the circumstances. Unless the Arizona Cardinals can prove to the NFL, to all the coaches, that we are a desired destination, we're never going to be an organization that lands a Sean Payton or Tomlin or a Sean McDermott or a Harbaugh. We're just never going to be that organization. We need to find some sort of stability. We need to find some way to be in contention to win these damn division games. So for all the people that always want to tank, that hurts reputation, man. That's not good for the reputation of the Cardinals. But at the end of the day, I get it, man. That hurts my heart, though, Sam. That hurts my heart. Sharf on the chat. Sharf58 coming out with a $5 donation, man. Appreciate you. This might be the most donations we've had in a very, very long time. I can feel the excitement amongst Cardinal fans right now because Mike LaFleur is in the desert, and I can definitely feel that now we're starting to get some really good news that can come to the way of the Cardinals fan base. So I'm excited about that. What's up, Sharf? He says this. I've been preaching Mike LaFleur and Raheem Morris for 2 weeks. Okay. Love to see it. Love to see it. But who's the OC? Not many available. Maybe Thomas Brown of the Pats. He called plays in Carolina. That is going to be the fascinating question, right? Because when Cliff was here, Cliff had like passing game coordinators, but he didn't have an offensive coordinator. He wanted to call the plays. Everything was on him. I'm wondering if the Arizona Cardinals are going to treat this in a different direction. I'm wondering if the Arizona Cardinals are going to say to themselves, okay, well, we want to learn from Cliff, right? We want to get you an OC. I hope maybe he can poach somebody from the Rams, right? Somebody over there, maybe like a passing game coordinator, something along those lines. If Mike LaFleur can poach somebody like that, I feel like that would be a W. But I do like the LaFleur and Morris tandem. I also won't be mad of the LaFleur and Weaver tandem. I feel like that would be pretty cool as well. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We got another one coming our way. Alejandro. What's up, Alejandro? Thank you so very much for the super chat. Let's just hope Mike can fix Marv. Oh, yes. Yes, yes. I'm talking about the defense over here, right? I'm tripping. Oh, I'm over here tripping, man. You're right. Marvin Harrison Jr., the biggest question mark right now for Cardinals fans. Can we somehow get this guy fixed, man? Can we somehow get this guy fixed? Agree there, man. Agree. Appreciate the super chat. Let's go back with Sharf in the chat. Says, the hiring of Mike LaFleur as a head coach and Raheem Morris as a DC is a home run for the Cardinals, but will be the OC. I'm hoping Dable. Hope Dable was just, yeah. Now that I'm looking at Thomas Brown for the OC, he has experience. I was hoping for Dable. Gotcha. Yeah, he just got picked up by the Titans. Good for the Titans. I think the Titans have something going on over there with Saleh and Dable. I really do. I really, really do. Rams in the chat Ramsdale says you're rooting for the Pats, right? Hell yeah, man. You know I don't want to see no damn Seahawks win the damn Super Bowl. And just like I didn't want to see the freaking Rams win the Super Bowl. And I didn't want to see the 49ers win the Super Bowl either. Heck yeah. But here's the thing, too. It's a double-edged sword, man. I'm not the biggest fan of the Pats either, but that was the Brady Pats, right? The constant juggernaut of Brady. Maybe I get a different mindset with May. We were one pick away from getting Drake May, man. One pick away from getting Drake May. And we got Marvin, which it seemed like a home run at the time. And now we're kind of starting to feel like, damn, I wish we were that third overall pick to land May. That kid seems to be the real deal. The real deal. Let me see if there's any other news. If not, we are close to closing up shop. Like I said before, if we don't get the news today, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow. Let me just do a real quick refreshing of my screen. I got to go over to Adam Schefter's Twitter/X page to see if there's anything on there. And I am not seeing anything new as of right now. But like I said, it happens to me all the time. I'm going to close up shop and then they're going to be like, oh, breaking news. It happens to me all the freaking time. But we'll see. Adrian in the chat says the Jets just fired their OC now. I saw that. Jets are parting ways with Tanner Engelstrand. I don't know who he is. Yeah, the Jets right now are going through it, man. The Jets right now are going through it. Absolutely. All right. With that being said, let's do what Dank in the chat is saying. Dank, appreciate you. Thank you so very much for being here in the chat. Do me a massive favor. Smack the like button here on your way out. We're going to be closing up shop right here because let's be real. Once I close up shop, we'll hear the breaking news somewhere or sometime during the line. All right, y'all. With that being said, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This was an amazing conversation. Shout out to Alejandro, Sharp, AZ Fan, BBH, Jose, Monarch, Junior, John Naylor. Thank you everybody for smacking the like button, super chatting, conversing in the chat below. We'll be closing up shop right here. Hopefully we get the news today, and if we do, we'll go live, and if we don't, we'll cover it all you need to know tomorrow. As always, Cardinals trying to see if we can somehow get that damn Lombardi, man. That's what we're all fighting for. All right, guys. As always, have a great rest of your day, and go Cardinals. Smack the like button and subscribe. Later, y'all. Peace.